And welcome back, disc golf fans, to the Back 9 Round 3 coverage of the 2023 Pdga Professional Disc Golf World Championships presented by LL Bean. Back 9 coverage of the Brewster Ridge course coming up. Had a lot of different scoring going on here on the front 9. I'm Nathan Queen, again joined by Andrew Fish.
And we are exactly halfway done with the 2023 World Championships. A couple of our players, as you said, variety of scorecards. A couple of our players making some good pushes, staying in contact with the leaders. But nobody's out of it at this point. So many scoring opportunities as we continue to play down and up the hills of the Brewster Ridge course.
Yeah, and you see scores in the top 10 range from 1 down to 7 down on this front 9. So as you said, nobody quite out of it.
Hole 10, 475 feet, downhill par 3, a couple of apple trees on the right side, as well as at the basket. This one is just gorgeous. During a practice round, I defy you to throw only one shot.
And all these players hope to throw only one shot and one putt on this hole. Buhr rips this out just a little bit low.
And it's pretty grabby grass down there. You need height, but not too much height. You need speed, but not too much speed. It's a very delicate level of flip and glide to manage this shot.
Yeah, the mid-range needs lots of height to get there, even with these power players, and those branches just make that height a little difficult. Cole Redalen looks like he may have done that just right.
Yes, sir. Into circle 1. He is managing that understable mid so well. Anthony Barela, like Buhr, going to go to the fairway driver.
In this play, you've got to get the speed right, and the height's so difficult to hit right on this one. That one also just a bit low, leaves you with the long 90-foot look.
And Raven Newsom really liked the drift on this shot. Get some late stability and curling into circle 1. Level with the basket. That's also pretty critical on your putt here.
Yeah, there's one branch that hangs off of that tree on the right side that might be in play if he didn't get past it, as Anthony Barela cans the big circle 2 putt.
I think it was outside by a couple feet, actually. Circle 3.
Oh, you're right. We're looking at the 72-footer here. Clean stepper. Dead center on the chains. Big connection there from Anthony Barela.
Yeah, we've seen him have some timing issues with his putt occasionally. This time, not a problem. Back to 4 under on the round.
See if he can start the card off with the round of circle 2 looks.
And such a different flight for Buhr. Hyzer release and then swings back late.
And not to be outdone, Buhr going to hit his circle 2 putt just inside. Get himself under par for the first time on the round now with those back-to-back birdies. Raven Newsom just inside, and he does have that tree to deal with here.
But manages it well. 2 under now and continuing his par-free round. And similarly on this left side of the green, a couple of low-hanging branches. Cole figuring out which side he likes better to straddle.
This hole averaging at a 2.9 today, 5th most difficult on the course. And here on Chase Card, we got them diamonds. Great to watch there. Hole 11, 620-foot par 4. Got this S-type gap. Just move slightly to the right, and then you want to deflatten and travel another 230, 250 feet down this hill. Right-handed backhand does have an opportunity to reach. You can get some lucky shots down the left side as well. But kind of one of those throw and figure out what to do after that type of holes.
Absolutely. We saw everybody on this card be pretty disciplined with their tee shots on holes 2 and 4. This time, Gannon Buhr significantly more attack. Scoots down to the left side. But that's so far down there that he's going to be jump putting an approach. Cole to the mid-range. This is playing it as more of a 2-shot hole.
Oh, and he catches a lone branch that's out in the fairway, but again, just doesn't really hit any of those plethora of trees that are in the middle there and gets over to that left side.
Looks like same disc that Barela had thrown on hole 10. So playing for some drift on an Anheuser release, but the stability is going to catch up and track him down to the left as well.
There's just not any trees here, I suppose. Just that one branch that,
that
Cole hit.
One weird stray branch. And Gannon Buhr had that read correctly. That is indeed money. Right to the feet of Catch Cam Dave.
Yeah, you can't draw it up much better than that. That didn't get lucky down anything. That was entirely down the fairway. Settled nicely in the fairway as well. As Cole Redalen, the nice little finger pop, has tons of speed on that disc and still continues to skip outside circle 1 back behind the basket.
Yeah, good use of that left side auxiliary gap. I can't honestly tell you where or how Anthony Barela threw, but he's into circle 2 with a chance for the birdie. And Nathan Queen dumbstruck by Barela's shot. We'll see what he has to say about Raven and Gannon's jump putts here.
Yeah, Raven did what you're supposed to do there. Throw it down the middle, jump putt up. Gannon Buhr trying to give it that eagle bid. He shouldn't have a birdie look. AB shouldn't have a birdie look right here. I don't get it.
Yeah, this is manufacturing scoring opportunities for himself.
Oh.
Frustrating to chain out high left side. Cole also from circle 2. Very artsy perspective. And high in the chains to go to 7 under.
Yeah, back-to-back birdies now, 10-11.
And take a look at that number by Cole Redalen's name as you're monitoring the world's leaderboard.
Looks like a pretty good number to me.
I'd take it.
Great circle 2 birdie there after a really touchy little forehand shot that he threw. Gannon Buhr, gobble gobble, now 2 under par.
Yeah, feels like that happened in a hurry too. Once Gannon gets it going, they come in bunches.
Yeah, and Raven Newsom back-to-back birdies, still par free.
Hole 12, 430 feet, a par 3, also downhill, playing down this gravel road. Can't really see the basket. You can see the trees that are about 40 feet to the right and short. Likely to see mid-ranges, possibly putters, with a slight hyzer release and a little bit of flattening as you go down there. There is left and long out of bounds, but not really coming into play much today.
This has a lot of height on it. Probably wanted this just a little bit lower. And what a checkup. He's going to find, I believe he might have touched that tiny little tree there to slow him down. Going to find inbounds in circle 2 back there.
Just about making me eat my words.
I had a chance to talk to the spotter on this hole today. At my tee time when I was there, he told me he had only held up the red flag 1 time.
it stayed that way based on U-disc scoring. 1 out of bounds all day. Cole to the right side. Could have an obstructed putt with 1 pine in the way, but in general, pretty successful tee shot. Looks like Raven is going to go fairway driver here. We noted in the first half of this round, he doesn't have quite the power of the rest of the card. Gets by with good spin and finesse.
And spins this one nicely down the right side of the fairway. Gets a little cheeky sneaky down there at the bottom of the hill. But he is going to have that whisker tickler. Looks like he's going to have himself another birdie.
And Barela, hyzer release pretty high right. This is following where Gannon had gone. And thrown slowly enough not to test the out-of-bounds edge too much.
Yeah, it looks like he checks up into circle 2. Should have a clean look as well. And Cole couldn't tell if he liked it or not out of his hand. Looks like he might have known it was a little bit off. But he'll be comfortably in for a par. Anthony Barela, though, able to connect on that circle 2 look.
Yeah, he's had some frustrating misses, and yet at 5 under, tied for 3rd in the tournament right now. Another guy who can get on a tear in a hurry.
Yeah, give yourself opportunity after opportunity. As Gannon Buhr, nice to be in bounds back there, is going to miss high on the putt. Leaves himself a pretty testy comebacker. But he passes.
Yeah, good conversion. Funny stance and still managed to ramp off top of the basket.
Gobble, gobble. And Zachary Nash, able to hit the ace back on hole 12, will move us into hole 13. 570-foot par 4. We're going to get just around that corner and ideally land somewhere around that bridge or in the 80 feet short of that bridge range to leave you this pretty skinny gap to the basket. Should have a bit more daylight than we might have seen on this basket in the first round.
Yeah, no doubt. Ideal conditions today, high about 70, very little wind. Raven Newsom going to start us off with a forehand. This is a touch inside, but can't be too picky about it. He should have a very manageable approach into the green under 200 feet.
Yeah, that right side can get pretty tricky. There's some trees early of the gap that make you throw some funny angles. But like you said, inside 200 feet, so is manageable. And that kick from Anthony Barela is going to put him in pretty much prime time. Looking straight down that skinny gap.
Hitting that tree was better than clearing it by a foot based
Definitely.
on the way that disc was flying. Buhr, way further to the left. He's going to test all of the back wall and then some. And if he may have filtered through to a throwable spot, somewhere where he can throw something flexy.
Cole also going with the forehand here. This looks to be a good line if it can check up when it hits. It does get a big skip, but he gets up to those trees I was talking about for Raven. So if he's able to stretch around those, he should have a pretty clean look.
Yeah, that's going to be approach disc forehand. pretty easy pickings for someone like Cole Redalen, squared up with the gap. Gannon, forehand roller out. He will be throwing 3 from 150, 180 feet.
And looking at maybe 220 here. And just a little bit early out of the hand. He's now got lots of trees, a little scatter plot to deal with as he kicked pretty far off to the left.
It did make some decent progress, so he probably will at least be in a putting stance. Raven. And the whole card in disbelief of how much branch action he got there.
Yeah, he hit the leaves right in front of him, but then they were really surprised that it hit something else later. As Gannon, trying to get up and down for par, is going to kind of jump putt through this gap. Sweet. Worked out well.
Yeah, very successful. And I was anticipating forehand. Looks like Cole is also going to be jump putting. Guys, you got to stop jump putting your second shot here. They're going to move this basket back on us.
Just a little snap of the wrist. And Cole Redalen up there in the circle, looking to move to 8 under par through 13 holes. Some early sound, but still some flight there from AB. And dang, coming in hot there from Raven. He was still wanting that birdie.
Yeah, he's known for giving some good touchy forehand action. Barela and Buhr both able to scramble after being well out of position. And Cole for the lone birdie chance now.
Tapping on in. No.
Raven Newsom's first par comes on hole 13.
And I believe that was a thankful little tap on that tree, as he knows he had smoked that upshot.
Hole 14, 355 feet, very uphill. Backhand is going to have to play with a late turn in the shot. Forehand can work either as a flex shot or something to flip up. Likely to see some understable fairway drivers thrown with a good bit of hyzer if players are going backhand. And
oh boy,
hard kick off to the left. There is not much to work with over there for Cole Redalen.
Raven Newsom taking more than 30 seconds here. No, just nice, a little bit of nice work there, clean off the front of the tee pad for himself and the other players.
And he will try to play that hyzer stand-up forehand. This is probably the cleanest way to get there, but it takes so much power.
Yeah, and easy to pull it off to the left. You have to put so much hyzer on that shot to really hit that gap cleanly. Luckily, he does kick back down into the fairway.
And a good gap for Anthony Barela. Sometimes it's better to just let Gannon Buhr give the reaction to whether it's a good shot or not.
Yeah, that one just a bit inside. Gannon going to try to correct on that now. This looks pretty good.
Yeah, look at the late drift on this. Tags the last tree on the right corner. And Cole making lemonade out of something way worse than lemons. I don't know what.
Yeah, maybe a lime.
Well, limeade's pretty good.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. from the fairway. Raven Newsom second, also going to the forehand. He's going to get cut down somewhere in circle 2.
So AB probably right around circle 2's edge. Deep circle 3. Gonna give it a good bid. Comes up just a bit short.
And Buhr conceding the par. Even that likely to gain strokes on the field as a whole, and certainly on his card mates who are scuffling a little here.
Hey, Raven Newsom got a taste of that first par on 13 and was like, well, I do like that better than bogey.
I said he liked running stuff with forehands, and look at that. In the change, everybody behind him is hyped.
What a shot. What a scramble. There you go, Raven.
And even though we're in a pretty remote place in the country, rural Vermont, crowds have really started to turn out as this week has gone on.
Oh, man. There's people from all over the place here, and it is awesome to see. I've already met people from 3 different countries.
I think I've played with people from 3 different countries. Cole.
I met a couple from Costa Rica that traveled solely just to come see the World Championships.
I don't know how to put it on the pole.
All right.
Yeah,
Seems
awesome.
great.
Awesome stuff, man.
So Cole going to end his bogey-free round.
And not a terrible hole to do it on. 3rd most difficult on the day. 22 players birdied, 23 players bogey or above.
Yeah, you can understand how quick it'll happen.
Moves us into hole 15, the 2nd hardest hole on the day. 400-foot par 3 island hole. Got to get over that original rock wall to be in bounds. And then it curls late left, blind around the corner. Very difficult shot to execute. Lots of players just playing to be in bounds and maybe give themselves a long putt.
Yeah, priority number 1 is throw this shot straight enough to hit the gap and be in.
And that one hit the gap. Just, yeah, as you hear Raven there, happy to hit the gap. Just a little bit too straight, but may have a long look.
AB putting a little bit of flex on a fairway driver, test the back wall, and then getting the late fade. You need a little bit of ground play, and there it comes. Back to that 36-foot range where he's been stepping all day.
Gannon Buhr also looks to be going with something stable here and going to put a little bit of Anheuser on it.
Beat it. No.
And doesn't quite beat it, but does stay inbounds. Going to have a little putter approach for his second.
And I know we haven't seen it every hole, but it's kind of weird to not see that mid-range in Cole's hand. I feel like this is another one he would throw that on. A little bit early release there, but he is going to sneak through to circle 2. Might even have himself a long look at it.
Yeah, it depends on what the evergreens in front of him are looking like. Potentially a stally bid. Cannon plays stability on his approach to control the distance and scoots just past the bullseye.
Do it again. No, don't do it.
Raven gets that one around the corner, but knew it was a little hot. Should have 20, 25 feet for par. Cole a little bit farther back than I thought he was.
Good layup.
Nice up and down.
No step required this time. Anthony Barela gets to 6 down. Solo third at this time.
Yeah, Raven Newsom hanging in there. Inside that top 10, 4 under par. After no pars until hole 13, he now has 3 in a row. Just 18 birdies on the day here on hole 15. 26 bogey or above.
Hole 16, 385 feet downhill, OB rock wall to the left the entire way. Likely to see 4 forehands here. Drone is flying the inside route, which is better for backhand turnovers. That forehand, you want to push it almost basket deep and then fade aggressively to the right.
It's a fairly difficult line to hit cleanly, to actually get clean to the basket. Lots of ways to have a clean look.
This pretty inside the whole way for Barela. Tracks down to probably 80, 90 feet. Raven Newsom, slight anhyzer.
Oh, this looks great.
Yeah, pushes to that deep side, but not quite far enough.
The great ones always seem to catch that corner tree. If you just pushed around that, it'd be right down the center.
Gannon, even more anhyzer.
Super overstable disc and gets a skip, but is going to catch. That's what I was talking about, why this line is very difficult to hit the intended gap. Because that looked like it should have skipped into that gap, but just 1 foot too long, and he catches that another guardian tree.
And not too many forehands today for Cole. This one, a little high, a little bit inside. It should be some kind of putt.
Raven, long bid here. Gives it good height. Doesn't quite connect AB to keep hot on the putting greens.
This one low. He's going to have to take a par. Gannon from a little bit above the basket. Can't quite play the hyzer that he would like to, I imagine. But still not a problem.
And
Flat
dead
release.
center on it. Rewind that back. Goes just past that tree that he hit, and we've got 75 points. That's up in that third ring.
This is such an arbitrary scoring system. He took a 2, and that's the one that really matters. He'll write that down. And Cole from circle 2.
Yeah, that puts Gannon 3 down on the round, his most of the day, as Cole Redalen will not be outdone.
This is such a slow putt, even in slow-mo.
Leans it back in. Had to put just a little bit of hyzer around that tree. And he is now back to that 8 under par mark, 25 under on the round. And just feeling it. He's having a good time.
Yeah, I like the rewind showing the personality of Cole. He's shredding, and he's having a good time doing it.
Raven Newsom now on that boring par streak.
Like you said, he got a taste and isn't quitting now.
Moves us into hole 17. 545-foot par 4. You'd like to get just around this corner into this area. Possible to get way down here and get yourself a jump putt look at it. But easiest hole on the course, got to get your birdie. Doesn't really matter how you do it.
I think the idea here is don't play yourself out of it in one shot. Something that gets in the fairway. Buhr with a hyzer release, snaps up a little bit, and sneaks through the left side, and then to a perfect landing position on the right side of the road. Little backhand flex shot upcoming. And a swoopy hyzer for Cole. That also filters through. We've seen this disc a couple times. Slight hyzer release, much better width, pushing that back wall or that back island of trees. And then a little skip to the left side. Could be a little snookered there, but should be close enough to manufacture something.
Man, I don't like it. 2 bad shots end up in the middle. Anthony Barela throws the good shot. He's off, gonna have a tricky stance now.
All right, Nathan assembling his philosophy of disc golf here. And flattening up for Raven Newsom. He tracks the inside but misses them.
There we go. Raven fixes it for us.
Absolutely.
He's just going to absolutely pipe it and be looking at that jump putt approach that I was talking about. Cole is just going to jump putt approach from 180 feet anyway.
And squirrels around, he might have a couple branches to contend with. I said backhand flex shot, but Gannon Burke can jump putt twice as far as I can.
Well done. Going to be inside the circle. Or inside the bullseye. Anthony Barela having to go forehand zone here. Kind of flexy. Go out wide.
And it's not a bad play to try to crash into those branches. They're circle's edge about at worst. And interesting here for Raven. Plays to his strengths. Scooches inside circle 1.
Yep, and as you would expect or should expect here from Chase Card, 4 birdie looks on the easiest hole on the course. Anthony Barela able to connect for his birdie. Can't tell if that's ring 1 or ring 2. We'll give him 35 points on that one. Cole Redalen also able to connect. Back-to-back now, 9 under on the round. Has a chance to hit the double digits.
Yeah, putting together a really solid round. A couple of big putts thrown in there along with super accurate driving. Raven for another birdie to get to 5 under.
We got that diamond.
And we're going to close out on hole 18, 400 feet, a par 3. There's a left side gap. The drone is going to fly the right side, go over top or left of this bush. This is kind of a backhand specialist's preference. Got to think that Buhr is going to throw slightly flexy over top of the old pin and then try to finish hard back to the basket.
Yeah, he's got this out wide. I think it's hyzer in just a little late, and he's going to be inside circle 1.
Yeah, we're being a little nitpicky there. The trees are scattered enough that you don't always get outcomes and process perfectly in equilibrium. Cole, I believe this is going to try to test that same line. Get the distance and then move hard left. Huh.
Huh, indeed. Looks like he may be going down the left side now. I'm not sure if he was attempting that or not in the first place. While we're all confused, let's go back to hole 16. Luke Humphrey's got an ace.
That's a great ace to get.
Indeed it is. Back to hole 18. Anthony Barela looking to throw this drive probably out around that bush. Get it to hyzer right now, pushing a little long.
And filters through a couple trees. He'll be in circle 2. And Raven not going to mess with that left side forehand line.
I thought he might. But but is going to go that backhand.
I think the advantage to the backhand is that the danger is substantially later in the flight. So even if you miss, you should be able to get up and down. Tracking over the old basket position.
Wow.
And only a tree kick keeps him from sailing way deep at this bucket.
So Cole was something that I couldn't do, having that bag right there, right beside where his swing's at. But able to execute a second shot very well to get himself up and down. Looks like he's going to have a pretty easy look to stay 9 under.
And Barela tries to spin it in, but the elevated basket just a little too high.
Man, and that one looked like it was going in pretty much the entire flight. Just ran out of speed. Gonna catch the top of the cage. Gannon Buhr gobble to finish. After a slow start, shoots 5 down on the back 9. Keeps himself inside that top 10.
And Cole Redalen to complete the recovery on hole 18. And close out the 9 under round to stay in solo first place. We're sorry to see you go, Cole, but good luck in your future endeavors in round 4 and beyond.
Yeah, way to make a push on what could be your typical feeling moving day or final round. And there you have it. Cole Redalen leading the way here on chase card 9 under. Anthony Barela not far behind 7. Gannon Buhr, Raven Newsom both shooting 5 under par.
Ton of green on the back 9 for our group. You see Cole Redalen jumping all the way up there. We will be watching Anthony Barela, Laurie Leitonen, Alden Harris, and Gannon Buhr once again in round 4. Back to the Fox Run Meadows course for our 3rd and final moving day and 4th of 5 rounds in the World Championships.
Yeah, excited to see you guys out there. Thanks for joining us here at Gatekeeper Media. Once again, make sure you like and subscribe. Tune in for round 4 coverage at Fox Run Meadows. For Andrew Fish, I'm Nathan Queen. We'll see you guys out there.